There's something strangely magnetic about silence. It's invisible, untouchable, yet it burns louder than words ever could. When someone you desire starts ignoring you, your mind becomes its own worst enemy. Every unanswered message turns into a mystery. Every seen but not replied text becomes a wound that throbs with curiosity, pain, and longing. But here's the paradox. That very silence, the rejection, the distance, is often what makes attraction grow stronger. It's the psychology of the forbidden, the unfulfilled, the unattained. And it's one of the most powerful, silent forces in human desire. Let me take you inside the mind when rejection enters the scene. At first, there's confusion. You ask yourself, did I say something wrong? You replay every detail, every chat, every smile, every glance. You overanalyze the tone of their voice, the timing of their texts, the last emoji they used. You tell yourself they're just busy, that maybe they didn't see your message, that maybe tomorrow they'll respond. But days pass. The silence grows heavier. And suddenly, your craving for attention becomes obsession. So when someone pulls away, your brain doesn't just let it go. It lights up the same neural circuits that trigger physical pain. You start to chase the very thing that's rejecting you because psychologically, rejection activates your reward system. The more you're deprived of validation, the more your mind convinces you that getting it back will bring relief, peace, closure. And that's where the silent power of rejection begins to work its magic. In the world of attraction, attention is currency. The more you give, the less it's worth. But the moment you take it away, completely, coldly, without explanation, it becomes priceless. Imagine this. You were always available, always texting first, always reacting instantly. You thought this would show your love, your care, your consistency. But the truth is, constant availability kills curiosity. When someone knows they can have you at any time, they stop wondering. And when curiosity dies, attraction follows. But the second you stop showing up, the second you create silence, they start to feel your absence like a shadow that won't leave. They begin to miss the validation, the comfort, the attention that once came easily. They ask themselves, why did they stop? They start to notice your absence in ways they never noticed your presence. That's the silent power of rejection. Psychologically, this is called the scarcity effect, the human tendency to desire what seems rare or slipping away. When you ignore someone, you become scarce, and scarcity breeds value. There's another layer too, the ego wound. When someone's ignored, their ego doesn't just feel bruised, it feels challenged. They begin to crave your attention not out of love, but out of a need to prove something. I'll make them notice me again. And so they chase. They post stories hoping you'll see them. They try to make you jealous just to test if you still care. They look for excuses to talk, subtle comments, random messages, old memories. Rejection turns the tables. The hunter becomes the hunted. But let's pause here for a moment. Because the power of rejection isn't just about manipulation. It's not about playing games, it's about understanding self-worth. When you withdraw your energy from someone who doesn't value it, you silently teach them what it's worth. You remind them that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. True rejection, the kind that's powerful, isn't loud or cruel. It's calm, controlled, dignified. You don't block them. You don't send angry texts. You just disappear into your own world. You let your silence do what words never could. And slowly, that silence transforms. It stops being a weapon and becomes a mirror, reflecting to them what they lost and to you what you deserve. Let me tell you something real. People crave what they can't predict. When you're always available, you're predictable. But when you're detached, when your energy becomes selective, you create mystery. And mystery is the oxygen of attraction. Think about it. Every iconic love story, every haunting memory, every person who's ever stayed in your head long after they left, what do they all have in common? They left something unsaid, unfinished, unanswered. That's the nature of silence. It leaves space for imagination. And imagination is more powerful than reality. Now imagine this. You were chasing someone, hoping for a sign. But one day you stopped. You didn't announce it. You didn't make a scene. You just quietly chose yourself. You started focusing on your growth, your goals, your glow. You became the person who doesn't need validation to feel valuable. And suddenly the universe flips the script. The one who ignored you begins to notice. They see your silence not as defeat, but as confidence. They wonder what changed. They wonder if you've moved on. And that curiosity turns into longing. It's poetic, isn't it? The moment you stop caring, they start. Because rejection, when mastered, is not cruelty, it's control. It's the art of detachment, the confidence to let go, the strength to say, if you can't see my worth, I'll stop showing it. And ironically, that's when people finally see it. So the next time you feel ignored, don't beg for attention. Don't chase clarity, don't fight the silence, become it. Because silence, when used with intention, doesn't just create distance, it creates desire. It doesn't end connections. It exposes them. Let them wonder where you went. Let them feel the absence of your energy. Because when your presence was taken for granted, your absence will become unforgettable. In the end, the silent power of rejection isn't about punishment, it's about power. The kind that doesn't shout, doesn't chase, doesn't explain. It's the power that says, I know my value, and if you can't, you'll feel the loss. And that's the truth about desire. It doesn't grow in noise, it grows in silence, so let your silence speak. Because sometimes the loudest I don't need you is said without saying a single word.